Good morning. Welcome to the Fun Side of Business podcast. I am one of your hosts, Nick Hampton.
And I'm your other host, Gemma Addison.
Good morning, Gem.
Good morning, Nick. How are you?
Amazing.
Always.
How are you?
Marvellous.
I don't know. I just saw your face. Anyway, right, today, I know you're not going to do intro, so I'm not even going to offer it to you.
No.
Right, today we have a legend of Ipswich, probably the second biggest figure when it comes to fundraising in the area.
Yep.
But the first biggest is kind of his boss. That's all right.
Yeah.
No, I'd say I'm first.
No.
All right, there you go. Then maybe number one.
I'd still put him first.
Well, we'll contest it over the podcast. Without further ado, from Suffolk Mind, Henry Tapp.
Woo!
Woo, woo, woo.
Thank
Morning,
you.
Henry.
Welcome.
Morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Welcome. Finally.
Yeah, it's taken too long.
It's taken a while.
My deepest,
Haven't we been trying to book you for like months and
Yeah.
you're just always too busy?
It's far too
deepest apologize.
Yeah.
Apologies. Yeah, not too busy, just kind of kids and life and
Just go along and just be honest and say, look, honestly, you're about 9th on my priority list.
yeah,
And eventually, I have to feel
I've
bad.
now
You
fitted
moved
you
up on
in.
like the sympathy vote.
No, my kids are real today. I said that earlier.
Yeah, he
and,
did.
I was not going to move this morning. It was set in stone. Wanted to do it.
Yeah.
I've been looking forward to it.
I
So,
literally
So, right,
said
for the last 2 months, Jem's been going, honestly, if Henry cancels on me again, I'm never asking him ever
it's
again.
blacklisted.
I'm sure. Yeah, I can believe that. I understand.
So, Henry, we're not going to put you on the spot because you have said, like, I've prepared nothing, which is great because everything's off the cuff. Have you ever listened to any of our podcasts?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah. In
So-
fact,
Good
I
start.
spoke to George Pennell yesterday.
Okay.
And he was talking. I've listened to his now.
Oh, good.
Nice.
Good start.
And I know an awful lot of people that have been on here. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing guests. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's cool.
But we obviously haven't hit the pinnacle because we've waited this long to get you.
Well, clearly.
we go.
Obviously. This is
So-
the one.
Come on then, let's go all the way back to school.
Yep.
Because this is where we start everywhere.
Yeah.
So, how was school? Where did you go? You know, we're going to have a Stoke versus something or other debate going on.
Well, I'm not from Suffolk.
He's not from around
Okay.
here.
So I'm from Sussex. I'm a
Okay.
Sussex boy. I will always tell people I'm from Brighton because the town I'm from, which is Hayward Heath, most people haven't heard of.
Okay.
We're all looking a bit blank now.
Everyone's like, what? It's basically a town in the middle between Gatwick and Brighton.
Okay.
So on the London to Brighton line, most people would have heard of it because they're on a stag do to Brighton and they stop at the train station. It's something like that. Pretty average.
It's like, I'm guessing, like, if people aren't from this area, they go Manningtree. You go where? And you go kind of between Colchester and Ipswich, and you just
100
occasionally stop at the
100%.
You
station.
just go, you fly past on
Yeah.
the train.
Just to save the grief, I just say Brighton.
Yeah, okay, cool.
And Brighton's a really cool place.
Brighton's
So
a great place.
Yeah. So brought up there. My parents still live there. Went to secondary school there. Really enjoyed school. Actually,
Okay.
I'm one of those people. I'm not especially bright, but I'm quite hardworking.
Right.
So I got kind of okay grades, but I really had to grind and I had to work for it. And I was thinking about this on the way over here. So I was rugby captain at school. I still love my sport, still love my rugby, but equally, and you might know this from LinkedIn and stuff, I love my rock music.
Yep.
Some people
I know
refer
you.
to me as like a bit of a mosher.
Mhm.
So I had this kind of duality at school, whereas I was kind of mates with, I guess, the outcasts and the moshers, and I was also rugby captain with the jocks and
So you-
stuff.
Okay.
And both.
So it's like
That's a-
Greros and Jogs at the same time.
That's a
Ki-
complete
kind of.
contrast,
Yeah,
isn't it?
And
Yeah.
it confused me to an extent. and there were these two friendship groups that it confused them. They were like, why are you hanging with like the jock guys? And it's like, well, I kind of have to, but I love Metallica and I love Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
I
I
love
kind
that.
of, I guess, quite a rare thing, but generally speaking, mostly enjoyed school. I loved, like, my love of history and politics emerged at secondary school. I had an amazing Irish teacher. So that's where my interest from that emerged. Went to sixth form college. Again, I kind of lost touch with sport a little bit. Girls, drinking,
Yeah.
other things that everyone, I think, goes
Life
through.
thing gets in the way at that point, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
exactly. Have no regrets, I don't think. Then I decided to do a degree in politics.
Okay.
And this is where kind of sliding doors moments enter your life. So I started at the University of Kent, which is where I met my wife. I was in a bit of a troubled way. at
Do we
Kent.
want to name drop her?
Gemma?
Hi, Gem.
Gemma?
Hi, Gem. Yeah.
Everyone's
not
going to think
not
it's
you, by the
me.
way. No, not you.
Not-
No, you've already had your husband on here. We can't have two husbands.
I only have one.
He's been on here, has he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shocking.
You need to listen to that one.
Oh, well. So I met her on a dance floor at the uni
Oh,
as I entered my second year. And anyway, cut a long story short, I was not in a good place mentally. Had drinking issues, got in with some wrong people, and I kind of had a mental crash. And I remember going home one weekend and saying to my parents, like, this can't continue. I'm going to end up with a third, or I'm going to end up like dead.
Yeah.
This is not healthy. And I was in a really bad physical way.
But you recognised that at the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Thankfully. And I'm really open about my mental health.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to talk about it to anyone because I think it will probably help people.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Anyway, cut a long story short, I transferred into my second year at Sussex Uni. So I kind of went home in inverted commas, sorted my life out physically, mentally, and I graduated from Sussex in politics, got a 2-1.
Nice.
And then I did a master's at the UEA in international development. And that's what I wanted to do ultimately.
Okay, hang on. You're going to have to make sure for listeners, international development.
Yeah.
That's so broad, right? Anything in the world and stuff that happens. I'm guessing it's obviously more niche than that because otherwise it's like, oh yeah, pretty much anything counts international development.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm qualified in life.
I guess in layman's terms, it's going out and assisting and helping people in the developing world.
Oh, okay.
So Africa, Asia in particular, Latin America.
So like almost like what the missionaries do when they go out on missions and stuff, but actually like the science behind it.
Yeah, 100%. So whether it's agriculture, education, health, and kind of feeding into all of that. However, I came out with a mountain of debt,
right?
And it was like, shit, I need to get a real job now, you know. And life got in the way. Life then accelerated. I worked in Parliament for a bit. I've had various jobs.
Okay, hold on. We're going to have to pick that one up. We can't let you
that.
go along and say worked in Parliament and then moving on. So, do you want to talk about which party?
I got a great story about Parliament as well.
Then in which case we are having this story right now. So story time with Henry Tapp.
Luckily we're not sitting too close together. So I worked for the Lib Dems.
Okay.
I worked for an MP called Greg Mulholland, who was in his first term then. Lovely, lovely guy. A bit wet behind the ears, but really hardworking. Kind of the opposite to your careerist politician.
Yeah.
And I was an intern, basically. So I worked in his parliamentary office at Portcullis House. Incredibly exciting place to work.
Yeah.
Especially if you've studied politics as well. This must be
you must be buzzing at
Oh, mega. Yeah. I was in heaven, basically. Yeah. It was hard work, but, you know, not every day you see the Dalai Lama walk through, like, the dining room and this kind of thing. And
as you do.
It's pinch yourself moments. And, you know, you get in a lift with an MP and it's just kind of like, what is going on?
What am I doing here?
Really cool. Yeah. And having full access to the whole of Parliament. So you could walk through the House of Commons when they're not sitting and stuff like this. So I was there for about 4 months or so, saw the humdrum of Parliament, really. And the funny story I've got for you, because I know you said line up a couple. I was thinking about this on the way here. So every kind of Thursday evening, all of the MPs go back to their constituencies. So they spend most of the week in London, do their stuff. And
on expenses?
On expenses,
obviously.
Yeah. And the expenses were happening at that time. I was kind of there. So that's interesting. So the MPs would leave on a Thursday night and the parliamentary staff would kind of have the offices to themselves on a Friday. There was lots of work done, I will stress. But one of my first days in the office, the guy said to me, "Do you play cricket?" Which I don't, by the way. And I was like, not really. And thinking, we're going to have a game at a ground somewhere and parties for each other or whatever.
Nip off to Lord's on the weekend or something.
As you do, on expenses.
On expenses, yeah.
And lo and behold, this first Friday I was there, they whip out a cricket bat and this kind of soft ball, and we had a game of cricket in our parliamentary office.
In the office?
With a proper score card and everything. And I was just like...
This is not the first time they've done it, right? When they go, let's bring out... the rules. Oh, no, we've written these. We've got bylaws and everything.
Yeah, off the walls and everything. And, you know, it would be a quick phone call to other researchers and interns from the other Dem offices. It was 10 minutes, right, in you come.
We're all meeting here. And
it's like, what is going on here? And
that's quality.
It is like a different world. So, but it was awesome. It was really cool. I look back on it and I wanted to continue, but there's not a lot of money in it. I mean, researchers and stuff and parliamentary assistants who do the legwork for MPs, really.
Yeah.
They're on a pittance, relatively.
Yeah.
Very, very exciting. But again, I kind of needed a job with money and I was on expenses at the time. It was my train fare.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And one day I said to my MP...
Were you still living in Brighton at this point?
Yeah. So I was commuting from my parents' house like early in the morning on sardine can trains to London because it's a commuter belt, really.
Yeah.
And I remember saying to my MP one day, I'm broke. Like, I'm waiting for my train expenses. And he, bless him, he went to the cash machine. I mean, this is the kind of guy he was. Took a lot of money out, which I think was his.
On expenses.
Yeah.
Claimed it later, obviously, but yeah.
And he said,
I
here you
wonder how
go.
that got
It was, I
recorded.
don't know, 100 quid or something
Yeah.
like that. And I realised subsequently, and I'm sorry, Greg, but I don't think I ever paid him back.
No,
But I was literally like turning out my pockets saying, I can't come to work like tomorrow because...
anyone who knows him, can you at him in this? And then we'll see if he sends Henry a bill for it.
Greg Mulholland, yeah, top guy. I don't know what he does now. He's probably a consultant or something. But he was kind of like too good for Parliament. He was one of those that went in with the best intentions, probably got churned up a little bit. He did 2 terms, lost his seat, and hopefully he's kind of happy and being productive and stuff otherwise.
But since then, I mean, not being funny, you'll have paid enough student loan interest and enough taxes to go, honestly, you've paid it back to the source from whence it came.
Oh, mate.
That's it.
Yeah, you feed into the system, don't you?
Yeah, but you're feeling guilty about taking 100 quid out of it.
That's
nuts, right?
Yeah, it is. And I've never forgotten it. But,
Okay, so this was your stint in Parliament. So where'd you go after this?
So after Parliament, I got my first job.
Not even hearing that. After Parliament, after I left Parliament.
It's mad, isn't it?
What? Yeah.
What? My parents have got a picture of me outside Downing Street, like at
Obviously.
home. It's mad. It was crazy.
As you do.
It's crazy time. So I got my first proper job.
And that would have been before AI. I was going to say, before AI, I can now put you at at the front of 10 Downing Street with Mars Attacks in the background and
everything.
Keir Starmer. Yeah, okay, all right. We won't talk about that.
And you could be holding a guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, rocking out.
Yeah, rocking out.
Yeah, with Aussie.
T-shirt.
Yeah,
Aussie.
perfect.
Oh, man. Legend. So my first proper job, in inverted commas, was for the Fitness Industry Association.
Okay.
Which was on Oxford Street, basically, Tottenham Court Road. Again, like the epicenter of where you want to be as a young person, like drinking and having fun and stuff. So I worked there for, I don't know, like 18 months or something, maybe even more than that. And again, the salary wasn't great. Commuting, exhausted, coming up in the mornings. And then I guess my career started to take off. I then got a job at the British Youth Council, which is a youth charity. Sadly wound up now. And that was on London Bridge. I worked in all these cool places.
Yes.
And then my wife kind of entered my life again. And we never got together at uni. We had a kiss on the dance floor.
When you met on the dance floor, that wasn't there. Okay.
And we met for a mutual friend, and it's a proper kind of Gwyneth Paltrow. If I wasn't there on that day, and I don't really believe in fate, but that is too much like fate not to.
Yeah.
So anyway, we kind of got together when I worked in London. She was coming down from Suffolk. Every other weekend I was heading up she was coming to London, I was going to Suffolk, vice versa. And I visited Framlingham, which is where we live, and I was kind of like, wow, like, what a cool, chilled, nice place Suffolk is. And I'd visited once or twice, wasn't particularly happy in my job, and I started applying for jobs in Suffolk. I'm not even sure if I told her, but I just started kind of landing CVs at different places. And I got a job at Suffolk Sport, which is now, I think it's called Active Suffolk.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was my kind of entry into Suffolk, I guess. We lived with her parents for a while, which was interesting.
So was Active Suffolk like a part charitable thing, or was it like commercial?
So they, excuse me, they are a county sports partnership, I think is the right terminology.
Okay.
Not for profit. They get a lot of funding from Sport England, commissioned funds and stuff like that. And I worked on a project called Fit Villages, which was basically trying to galvanise people in rural areas to do more physical activity.
I love that.
It was funded. Yeah, it was cool. And I mean, what better place in Suffolk to do that?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So a lot of travelling, and I kind of got to know the geography of Suffolk really well, like really quickly. I very rarely need to use sat-navs now because it's just, I've been to everywhere, the arsehole end of, everywhere. But got to love the county, the beautiful geography. And then I've done kind of jobs in between. I worked at Nuffield Health for 5 years as a relationship manager with the consultants and the GPs. Consultants, interesting breed. Met some amazing people there. Loved it. But I kind of, everywhere I've been, I've had itchy feet to an extent, or I've kind of reached a glass ceiling. I'm not super duper ambitious. I'm not driven by money particularly. I'd rather do something fulfilling and something I enjoy than make stacks of money,
But I think sometimes it's, people can go along and say, yeah, it's what I get out of it. And people think that can be because you're doing it to grab money.
Yeah.
But actually that can be one thing that can be, help you feel fulfilled.
Yeah.
I get paid well. Okay. Do you like it? Not really, but it pays okay. And I can take care of my family and I can do this. Great. Or do you get paid well? No, but how I feel at the end of the week, is more fulfilling than any money's ever going to give me.
100%.
So I think it's always a case of, people can be searching for something, but it's easy to think, oh, I'm searching for a bigger salary. But actually, a lot of the time, they're really searching for contentment and happiness.
Well, don't they say that? Like, if you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life.
Yeah, 100%. And I love lots of my role, and I've loved lots of all of my roles, but I'm still kind of searching for that jump out of bed moment. And no disrespect to my employers or anything, and we do amazing stuff.
Yeah.
And my wife always says to me, "What are you searching for? That pot of gold at the end of the rainbow doesn't really exist."
Yeah.
And that's something I have to contend with myself. And I have mentoring, and I have this, that, and the other to try and piece that together. And I think for me, money's kind of the icing on the cake. If you've got a great salary and fantastic.
It's a bonus, yeah.
Yeah, and you've got family and you've got kids and stuff, that's amazing. My wife's an accountant, which is very helpful.
Sorry about that.
Well, apologies.
Yeah. You can, honestly, you're as dull as she is. Yeah, okay.
She's definitely not me then.
I tell you what, though, she's kind of an all-rounder in terms of her brain. She's got the mathematical brain. Like, we watched the 1% 1% Club last night, and she said to me, I should go on there, because she almost always gets the 1% question. I'm sat there trying to work out the 80% question still. And she's got the brain, but she's got the personality and the skills as well, which is quite a rare thing.
Yeah.
And she's like 10 A stars at school, and she's all of that stuff that I wasn't. And we're very yin and yang. We're very different in so many ways, but we kind of...
But then you balance each other out, don't you?
And it works. She's a great mum, and all of that stuff.
So let me take you back, right? So you said when you were at uni and you struggled with mental health and stuff, and then had to go and sort yourself out. And then you've gone over to Brighton, and then you've started work in London, Oxford Street, and there's all the drinking and parties and what have you.
Yeah.
How did you stay mellow? Or was it a case of you always had that kind of, I might tip, or, had points where you have tipped?
Yeah, so I've had that throughout my life. So from, I don't know, when you have your first few drinks at, 14 or 15 or whatever it is, I've always had an inkling that it's a problem for me. Not that I can't stop, but kind of the mental implications. So if I had a bender with some friends on a Friday or a Saturday, like you did when you were younger, I would often pay for that until like Wednesday. Not necessarily the physical symptoms, but your anxiety. And all of that stuff. And
paranoia and
all of it. And I get all of it.
It's amplified at that point then, isn't it?
And it's probably predisposed, like it's genetic. And I look up family lines, and there's some of it there. And thankfully, I kind of recognised it reasonably early. But just to put it in perspective, like at uni, I was in a dorm with males. We're on a bottom floor, and for security reasons, it was all guys, which is fine, a lot of fun. And I had some heavy drinkers in my dorm, and everyone says, I went to uni, I partied, but it was silly. It was drinking. I could drink every day if I wanted to, because there'd be someone who would try and encourage me to do it.
Yeah.
And I just went mad, 5-6 days a week, like pretty hard going.
Yeah.
And I looked like a wreck, put loads of weight on.
That becomes a routine then, doesn't it? Like drinking every day.
Yeah, and you can't say no, and you just get into the...
what's happening around you. It's
But I think it's always been the way.
Of your environment, don't you?
And it's probably been, even that case for 20, 25 years, where it's almost like the social norm that you accept a drink. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, do you want to come out for a beer?
Yeah.
Oh, no, okay, I'm not drinking. What do you mean you're not drinking? Of course you're drinking.
Yeah.
And it's like, the bit that I never understand, and I don't understand, like, there's some clever marketing somewhere 40 years ago that made this happen, and I haven't traced it back yet, but it's something clever, where if you were like an alien on the planet, come to visit the planet Earth and say, okay, so one human is asking another human, would you like to come and drink poison with me? But it should be in low enough levels that it will only cause you a bit of damage, a bit of paranoia, a bit of mental problems. It will make you lose ability for your own faculties, and you'll feel bad for it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Should we go and do that? And the person who says no is the odd one. I don't know how someone's marketed that, but when you actually hear it, you go, yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah, 100%.
It's nuts.
Leading up to my 40th birthday, I had 2.5 years off drink, like literally not a sip. And I learned so much about it and myself. I've kind of reintroduced it now, and I'm way more mindful now, having been through that, of what it's going to do to me.
Yeah.
but I've heard it referred to on podcasts and stuff before as attractively packaged poison, which is basically what it is. And it's the only drug that if you deny it, you're weird. Like in certainly this country.
Yeah, if someone said, "Oh, look, let's go and do coke," and you went, "No," it's like, "Oh, okay, fine, you don't do coke."
Yeah.
Or, "Oh, do you want to come out and have a cigarette?" "No, I don't smoke." "Oh, okay, great, you don't smoke." But do you want to come out and have a drink? Literally, I had this 2 hours ago where I've got a couple of mates and we're meeting to get up in Colchester to go and have a game of snooker.
Nice.
And they said, "Oh, yeah, we'll meet about 1:30 and get on the beers." And I went, "Yeah, I'm going to drive." And they went, "What do you mean you're driving? We can get someone to come pick you up. We can get..." And I was like, "No, I'm just not drinking." But it's almost weird that everyone kind of thinks, well, but you should.
But it also, like going too deep and meaningful. This is supposed to be fun, right? It's the fun side of business.
But the
not
real
dark side of
we want relatable side of business, or the relatable side of life.
But I think it also for some people, not all at all, but it legitimizes their drinking.
Yeah.
So and it's kind of
because no one wants to drink alone.
Yeah, you're in a gang, and it's kind of we're all in it together. It's pack mentality.
Yeah.
And I'm an expert on alcohol-free beer now, for example, because I've tried everyone under the sun. And I think, is it Gen Z now? Whatever it is.
They are,
people are drinking less and less and less. The younger you go. So,
well, I think all the tax reports have just come out that despite all the taxes going up, the only one that went up was cider. In terms of duty collected, the tax on beer, even though they increased the rate, there's less collected, same as spirit, same as wine.
Wow.
The only one that's gone up is cider.
That's because it's a young person's drink. Drink, I guess. Yeah. So, I mean, I could do a whole podcast
either that or it's like, cider attracts a certain group of people that aren't going to stop.
We should have you back and do a whole episode on alcohol.
Yeah.
What we should do.
Yeah. I mean,
we'll do that another time.
It's interesting. At Clip and Climb last night, I spoke to Adam from, I don't know how to pronounce it, Ocala Healthcare.
Okay.
He's going to kill me, but
I thought you were going to say from Idgie or whatever, and it's like, because Idgie always looks weird when you see that one.
Yeah, like top guy, and he's having a year off drink this year for charity, bless him. And we had a chat, like waiting for the buffet, about drinking habits and stuff. And when you connect with someone who's gone through a similar thing, like it's relief almost.
Yeah, you're not alone. You're not the only one.
You're not alone, and I think a lot of people probably experience some of those things I've experienced, but they're kind of in denial. Don't want to make the effort to confront it. Don't want to confront it, because life is stressful, right? And for some people, that's their...
And scary things people tend to run away from, not try and deal with.
It's harder to accept and recognise something because then you've got to make changes.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part.
And you bury your head in the sand. Yeah. And guys in particular are pretty bad at it in many respects. But I'm pretty much an open book. Like I'll talk about drink all day long and kind of the damage it's done to me. My wife's seen it firsthand. She's seen me in tears, the following day, just because mentally I'm shot to pieces.
Yeah.
And that's what you don't see, because I'm quite an extrovert. And when I'm having a drink and stuff, I'm the life and soul. I'm a jibber jabber, as you can tell here, even more so when I've had a drink. And people are like, oh, wow, that happens to you. And it does. It's the aftermath, which can continue for days. So I kind of knocked that on the head at Sussex, really. I didn't stop drinking, but I started playing rugby again, spent a long time in the gym, kind of just got my shit back together, and then kind of continued. But it's...
I was going to say, you're into your fitness now, aren't you? You cycle, is that... Have I seen you cycle? Is that what you...
Running, really, yeah.
Okay, but you
think
keep
as long as he's beating Craig Starling at running,
maybe that's why I've got cycling in my head.
We'll come on to that one.
He's the competitor.
Did you cycle with Craig? Am I making that up?
Yeah, we did. So we did quite a lot of work.
I just imagine that in my head?
No, you're right. We did a bit of work with East Suffolk Council last year on the tour of Britain.
Yes, okay.
We were kind of the charity of choice, and they invited us to do the media ride. Which started at Fram Castle, which is like 5 minutes from my house.
Perfect,
probably less than that. And we cycled up to Saxmundham, I think it was. He kicked my ass, by the way, because he cycles quite...
Should we talk about the Ipswich Half again? We'll talk about the Ipswich Half again to rebalance.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
We'll talk about that one next.
And then we'll have Craig like right underneath going, but I had a knee injury just before it. But I injured my knee.
He's always... But he's like, what, 15 years younger than me or something? I mean, Craig, you should be kicking my ass at everything. you know, and
even with an injured knee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm 42. I'm kind of entering middle age.
Yeah. It's horrible to say that.
Yeah, but I mean, I played rugby I got into the Sussex squad when I was younger. I was like, okay, I was better than average player, but I was never going to be anything more than that ever. And despite what my dad would probably say. And then as times wore on, I've kind of left the rugby, left the football, and the trickier sports probably on your body, really, despite being running. And everyone's like, oh, your knees. So I took up kind of triathlon when I moved up here. Mm-hmm. And I did a half Ironman at one point, which now seems absolutely mad.
Yeah.
And then subsequently, I was never a particularly good cyclist or enjoyed cycling competitively. I haven't got the legs for it, but I continued running quite a lot. And I ran this morning.
Okay.
I run most days, but I'm training for the Brighton Marathon at the moment, which is 7 or 8 weeks away. So yeah, I mean, running for me is as essential as eating lunch.
And does that help? The reason why I asked, that helps with your mental health and everything?
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And if I did my knee or something like that, like that would be trouble.
Like Craig apparently did, is what you're going to say.
Yeah, he drops
allegedly.
You know, he's doing these bicep curls and he drops a dumbbell on his ankle or something.
He dropped something on his foot.
It was something like that, and then he stubbed his toe recently. You know, he comes up with all these things.
Dug out my homework. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, you see where it comes from, can't you? But he should be kicking my ass. Like honestly, like the age difference.
Beer's going to hear this and then be so competitive after this.
He's going to go, can I get back on the podcast to talk about Henry? He's like, nah, sorry, mate, you've been on once.
Well, we're doing the Woodbridge 10Ks. He's very kindly invited me onto their because I think he's sponsoring that.
Yeah.
ICS is sponsoring it. And I know through other people that he's super competitive.
Of course he is. He just wants to get back in the race with you.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, it is what it is.
I'm going to tag him in this episode once it goes live.
Okay, all right. So let's jump back. So we're in Suffolk.
Right.
We've done like sport thingy and active lives and what have you. And Henry's still searching for the thing.
Yeah.
What was the moment?
In what sense? Sorry.
Well, when you found
he's found his pot of gold.
We've not found the pot of gold yet.
When I found my thing,
we're close to finding the pot of gold.
So I was at Nuffield for 5 years and a bit. I think enjoyed that role, but it was kind of stale. When I get to a point where I start to get bored, I think the term's rusting out. Like I need some innovation.
When it's monotonous.
Monotonous, yeah. I mean, I could do it by that point. No disrespect to the organisation, but standing on my head. And I started probably getting a bit complacent. And I saw this role for Suffolk Community Foundation pop up. And again, relationship management, kind of what I enjoy doing, you know, B2B stuff and meeting people, right? Never heard of community foundations, didn't have a clue what they did, but essentially huge grant makers to the charity sector, of which they tend to give out £4 to £5 million a year. That's pretty significant.
Wow.
And they have an endowment of 20 million, something like that, like incredible funds. And they wanted me to basically come in to build rapport with professional services. Right. So your accountants, wealth managers, private client solicitors. And this is kind of where my black book exploded, because I just built this list of connections who I met at events, we put on events, because basically they referred high net worth people to us who, bless you.
Excuse me. Get rid of that in the edit.
Bless you.
Yeah, edit that one out. Who either for tax reasons or whatever it was, wanted to create charitable funds, you know, who were invested in Suffolk. And most people, not everyone, but most people have a sympathy to an area of charity, right? So whether it's mental health, whether it's homelessness.
And it doesn't harm them when they can write off part of what they owe to HMRC and give it to a charity instead.
100%. So I met some of the kindest people, you know, who are sitting on millions probably, whether it's in the estate or whatever it is, who would write, you know, charitable things into their wills that amounted to a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I also kind of but I consolidated businesses within the foundation as well. So I created a lot of charitable funds with Suffolk businesses. So Beckett's, for example, with Ian White, Ellison's, like loads of different businesses, and introduced them to different charities in Suffolk. And it was a massive education for me, from kind of almost one-man bands, charities like Dora Brown, which is unbelievable, which employs like, I don't know, handful of people, all the way through up to Suffolk Mind, the hospices and what have you. And Suffolk with...
So you were kind of a connector?
Yeah, so my role was income gen, but it was to create charitable funds for individuals and corporates. And a lot of those people were referred to me by the professional service community.
Yeah.
So I think in my interview, I had to demonstrate how I would engage with that audience. I mean, it's not rocket science. Basically, start with a spreadsheet and you've got Google, right?
Yeah.
And at the end of COVID, that was kind of my map. And over 3+ years, just made these incredible relationships and friendships. Like a lot of these people are friends now.
Yeah.
And it was a really cool position. Anyway, cut a very long story short, and a lot of people know this anyway, lots of change at the foundation over that time. The management structure changed. The chief exec, who was there 17 or 18 years, the founding chief exec retired. And there was a lot of turbulence. And I'd never experienced that in an organisation before of that level. Lots of people leaving, lots of churn. And again, bit of a pattern here. I had like a mental breakdown, basically. A lot of stress, spinning millions of plates, covering staff that were ill or leaving. And I just collapsed. And like was it August 2 years ago, 18 months or so ago, I very impulsively resigned, which is very unlike me, really unlike me. But one of the senior leadership team the day before I did that said, I'm going to go, I'm going to hand my notice in. And no one's irreplaceable at work, but she was as close as you could get. She was ops, similar to you. She was finance. And it was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
You know, I can't deal with this. And I spoke to my wife later that day on the Friday and said, I resigned today. Like we touched on it earlier that week, but I was in a pretty dark place and I just kind of needed to press the reset button. And I did. I took, I don't know, a couple of months out. And
I'm guessing she was crazy supportive, right?
Yeah, I mean, she's seen me in some pretty hairy states throughout our time. So we've been together about 16 years, been married for just over 10. And yeah, it's a relationship, right? So you see each other in the most vulnerable positions and places. And yeah, she's amazing. And she's so patient.
But the thing was, I mean, again, a lot of it is kind of bringing up memories of me when I sort of had I was 10 years into a place I was and just kind of had that epiphany of going, enough's enough. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to Natasha about it. And I said to her, or Doris, as everyone knows her, and I said to her, I think I need to quit and I think I need to just go and do something for me. And she said, what are you going to do? And I said, honestly, right now at this point in time, I don't know, but it's not what I'm doing. And she said, quit. And I went, but we don't know how we're going to pay the mortgage. We don't know how we're going to do this. We don't know how we're going to do that. She said, we'll work it out.
Yeah,
quit.
It's amazing.
And it was just that level of support that just went, this is what a real partnership is about. You know, and it was so nice to go, guess what? I'm not going to have this undue pressure on me going, well, you decided to do this. You have to make this work. It was, just quit and we'll work it out. We'll figure it out.
But that's amazing, isn't it? That's true partnership.
Yeah.
I mean, she's so supportive of me. So I kind of took this time out, and I'm pretty modest about this, but lots of people said to me, you know, so many people, like people will approach you. And I was like, I don't know if that's going to happen. I made it quite public, and lo and behold, my inbox started filling up, and I had WhatsApp messages and stuff, and people said, oh, let's have a chat. I was kind of bowled over. I was kind of...
Oh, that speaks volumes.
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing from different sectors, from professional services, charities and stuff like that. And I had quite a lot of coffees with people with no real end point. It was just chat, just a chat at that point. And I probably ended up with about 3 possible options that were realistic. 2 were not in the charitable sector and 1 was. And I felt like I had quite a lot of unfinished business in the charitable sector. It took less pay. Like going back to the point before, mental health, as you can clearly tell, is huge to me personally. And I thought, actually, if I can contribute to helping people with their own mental health, like that's
nothing more
like,
important than
that's sounding cliched, like that's my calling.
Yeah.
So, and I knew some of the team already, and I knew I would walk into a role or apply for a role. Actually, I didn't walk into it. That was relationship building again, partnership working, which is what I enjoy most. So kind of here we are. Yeah. But that was quite a painful process. But coming back to what you said about 10 years ago, I'm 42 now, and about halfway through life, and you start to think like, shit, we get one crack at this, we get one go at it, and you don't want to look back when you're retired thinking, just all those opportunities. I was deeply unhappy.
I was the same before I was RSED. I was in the same industry for about 14 years, and that was most of my life. And I had no passion for it anymore. And similar to you guys, I went home and was like, I'm not doing this anymore. A lot of changes had happened. I won't go into the company.
Night? Yeah. You went home and went, I'm not doing this anymore.
I can't work with Nick anymore. I'm out. I'm done.
You said that before we came in. Yeah, it's funny that.
But yeah, so many changes had happened in the industry and the business I worked for. And I was like, I just don't like it anymore. That feeling when you go into work, you just don't want to be there. Yeah. I never had that before. I didn't want to get up in the mornings and do it.
Yeah.
And and I had no idea what I was going to do. Then I fed into this role that I'm now stuck in.
All joking.
Apparently I've got a lifetime contract.
Yeah. That's it.
All joking, you love it, right?
I love it. People.
You can tell. You can tell you enjoy it, really. But there's nothing, you're right, there's nothing worse than having your Sunday lunch, right? And then...
that Sunday night feeling.
And then you've got that feeling in the pit of your stomach about what's coming up. And I can't remember who said it. It was at a seminar or something, but... you can tell the culture of an organisation by how your employees feel on a Sunday night. Yeah, I think that hits the nail on the head.
To be fair, I mean, I've always had that
our
same
staff
thing
want
with
to
people.
come in on a Sunday, so...
I mean, they've asked, right? but I always have that same thing when someone says, whenever I've employed anyone and they said, I don't know if... It's like, look, at the moment you have any doubt, if it's not right for you, just quit. I'll help you. I'll help find new jobs for you. I'll help do this. Life is more important than this job.
You've not said that to me.
So... you've got a lifetime contract. You're stuck. It's like just being a prisoner. So yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make any difference for you, love. We've lost the key. Everything. You're locked in. But yeah. So I mean, I've always had that thing of saying, look, you get one chance at life. You might not be able to go through life saying, yeah, I love my job, but you should never have that feeling on a Sunday night going, yeah, I don't think I can face it. Because the moment you get that feeling, it's time to change.
Yeah.
It's always going to be time to change. And that's exactly it. I remember having that. Yeah, I've now kind of entered this point of my life where what I'm now going to do is like my final throw. So I can stick where I am and be dictated to, and always have that you're kind of in control but not quite, or just go take control and walk your own path, make your own steps, and see where it goes.
I mean, almost anyone I know who's set off and created their own business or enterprise or whatever it is, I don't think I've spoken to anyone who said, I regret it. That they might have had troublesome financial and what have you, but pretty much everyone I've spoken to is like, take the leap of faith. Like the
thing is, the reality is, and if you look at it, and we've had this conversation many times, in order to earn more money, stick in a job. In order to go along and not have to stress on a Friday night, stick in a job. If all of these things, it's far worse having a business on all of these fronts, but yet people will keep doing it.
Yeah,
and they'll keep doing it because they actually can feel they're building something, and it's theirs, and it's something, and we find
and
this.
It doesn't always go to plan. It doesn't work first time round. We're on version.
Oh, guess what? And we'll be on another version on Monday. Jem loves it. She goes, oh, okay, great. So what we need to discuss in the directors' meeting on Monday. Right, I've got a new plan. She's like, right, this is your 27th one of the year. Here we go again. Can we just deal with the old plan? No, I've thought about it. I've got a new one now. And off we go again.
That's great. But you got to evolve, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I spoke to Ezra. You might have seen him speak. So he's our head of education. Unbelievable guy, unbelievable brain. And we just had a coffee with each other, just catch up really. And I said to him, when we have a Tesco delivery order, every Saturday or whatever, I said, sometimes I'm jealous of that driver. You clock in, you clock out, and you don't always leave every bit of work behind, but you kind of do in that role. And I said to him when I was a student, did that, clocked in, clocked out, and kind of, while it's probably not as fulfilling in many ways, it's quite appealing, isn't it?
You don't take any worry home, do you? You switch off.
Yeah,
5 o'clock, switch off.
The only thing that I'm always proud of is I remember the point where someone said to me, if you win the lottery, what do you do? And I said, I take a week off doing a few bits and pieces and then I come back to work.
Would you come back to work?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, he 100% would.
Because the thing is that everyone always says, like, what's the purpose of retirement? You know, and it's like when you decide to retire, you're able to spend the time doing the stuff you want to do. And you're working to earn enough money to make that as comfortable as it can be. But doing what I love to do, I love to help businesses and I love to help them grow and I like to help people. And I get to do that every day in my job. And so, if someone says, oh, do you want to go and hit a golf ball round a thing and go, yeah, it'd be all right for like a week. And then I'd go,
he'd get bored.
But it's just not fulfilling to go, yeah, okay, I've worked out how to hit a golf ball further.
Yeah.
It's never going to do it. But to go and say, oh, yeah, by the way, I had someone, that's in tears going, yeah, shit, I think the police are coming to get me and this has happened because I haven't paid this tax and I haven't done this and I haven't done that. And we're able to just sit down and say, right, just stop, breathe.
Yeah.
We'll fix it.
It's fulfillment.
And you just go, I'll always hold that point where we had a client come in with her daughter because I'd found them a tax outcome that was very favourable and it was worth nearly 6 figures.
Wow.
And she'd promised to take her daughter to Disneyland and she brought her daughter in with a little thank you card and what have you. And I'm like, yeah,
they can now go on
I could work in a job for 50 years. I'm never going to get that.
That is very cool.
So for me, I'm like, I'll just keep doing it.
And you hit the nail on the head. Like, as and when retirement happens, you have to remain productive and busy.
Yeah.
And in our road, they call it, what do they call it? St. Peter's Gate or something, because people basically go there, they retire, they die.
Yeah.
And then younger families are now moving in. And I get back from work sometimes. I'm not going to mention my neighbour's name. He'd never listen to this anyway.
Whoa.
We have
Billions and billions.
He could be one of them.
I get out of my car and I can see him looking at me like, I don't make it obvious, but I can see him looking at me through his living room window because he's so bored. He's like looking out and watching what's happening.
The world go,
and it's like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't want to rot away, having worked your whole life. And I've never going to win the lottery, but if I did, I think a lot of it would depend on the amount. But I couldn't see myself working. I'd be productive in other ways.
The weird thing is that by strict definition of retirement, well, maybe it's by strict definition of retirement, I haven't. But 4 years ago, I was able to change the business and do what I love with the people I enjoy spending time with. That to me is as close to retirement you're going to get.
That's Mecca.
So every single day I get to do that.
That's cool.
You're welcome.
I meant Doris, not you.
He wasn't looking at you.
Yeah, I got rid of some clients and kept the good ones. Anyway, so hang on. I've got some quick fire for you, Henry.
Yeah, go
on. We're only going to do this, and just because I thought this would be a fun thing to do. And it's
Gemma's rolling her eyes.
We're going to get ready for this one, right? You've got to get rid of one of them: Black Sabbath, Megadeth, Iron Maiden. One has to be
get rid of one.
Scrubbed from existence. Never existed.
I don't like Megadeth, so I'd get rid of them.
Okay,
there you go. The other two, like, two of the best.
That'd have been tough,
amazing.
Right? I'd see. Now I want to ask that question.
Choosing one of those two.
Yeah, now I want to ask that question.
Okay, go on then. Your turn.
Get rid of one of those two.
Sabbath and Maiden.
Yeah.
No Phantom of the Opera.
I mean, that's almost an impossible question.
No Run to the Hills. No Paranoid.
Sabbath's,
he can't answer this.
Their back catalogue is unreal, and they were the creators. Sabbath, they kind of created heavy metal. But I've seen Iron Maiden, I don't know, maybe a dozen times. I'm seeing them in the summer.
Okay,
and I always see them with my brother. That's a brotherly thing, and that's the first band that got us into metal. We watched them on Top of the Pops. Do you remember that? Anyone? Top of the Pops?
Top of the Pops, remember that.
Hang on, was this the one where they decided that they were so hacked off that they weren't allowed to play live? That they all just went, yeah, we're just not going to do this at all. And just let them play the backing track while they just like swapped instruments and stuff.
Yeah, buggered about, yeah. That wasn't that. I've heard of that though, which sounds amazing. I think they played in Israel or something, and it was with Blaze Bayley was the singer, who was their kind of interim singer. Bruce Dickinson is the guy.
Yeah.
But I remember sitting there with my brother. This video came on, and it was this epiphany, and we watched it, and we were like, "Oh fucking hell! Like this is cool. This is super cool." And that kind of changed. I know it was life changing for us in a musical sense.
So we can't make
you can't make it big. That's not going to happen.
Okay, we'll go to an easy one. Favorite food?
Oh, Mexican or Italian? Can I have 2? I'm going to go for 2 for everything.
High five to that.
Okay,
yeah.
Best two achievements.
Best 2 achievements.
I mean, I was going to say best achievement, but I know you're going to pick 2, so I may as well just get you to answer.
Yeah,
right?
I got splinters on my bum. My 2 girls.
Okay.
My 2 girls who are everything.
Now, can you pick between them?
Hang on. Shout out to his wife that he didn't mention. Anyway, biggest regret? Is it like one of or 2 biggest regrets? One is not mentioning your
That
wife.
was going to be number 2.
The children and then the wife.
Yeah, so he's picked 3.
He's picked 3, basically.
Yeah, okay. All right. Biggest regret?
Biggest regret?
Coming on this podcast.
Ooh, that is tough. I don't know. It might have been sort of my drinking in my early days.
Okay.
But I've also learnt a lot from that.
But you've grown from that.
Yeah.
So
my dad would say maybe jacking in county rugby too early.
Okay.
So my coach at Sussex was a guy called Gary Henderson. Arsehole, by the way.
Okay, so I'm not bigging up Gary.
Not Gary.
Arsehole.
And it was basically a military camp. You know,
Ooh.
and
okay.
We used to do something called continuity drills. And if one member of the squad dropped the ball, the whole squad would have to get down and do press-ups.
Yeah, arsehole.
And you would have to do 20 at a time or something. And if anyone got up before the rest of the squad, you'd have to do it again.
Oh.
And it was just like...
that sounds more like a weird camp.
It just killed the enjoyment for me. And talking about Sunday night, every day before training sessions, I would feel sick, like violent. And I said to my dad one day, he was gutted because I think I played at a slightly better level. I mean, he played for years and years and years, and he kind of lived it through me. And I said to him, like, I can't do this. And he was so disappointed.
But when the enjoyment goes, it's,
Yeah, it sucked. And that's why you do stuff, right? That's why you do, because you love it.
Okay, next one for you. Advice for younger Henry. So if you could give 20 words to 14-year-old Henry,
okay,
what would it be?
I would say... be wary of alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
I would say university isn't...
You know who he would say to you, by the way, 14-year-old Henry would go, what do you know, you're really old? Because he's drinking with his 14-year-old mates, right?
You're an old man.
Yeah.
Yeah. You done it.
Yeah, exactly. University isn't everything it's cracked up to be. Like, if you want to do a vocation...
I like that one.
Explore that, because our generation, right? University was sold as the pot of gold.
The only option. Yeah, it was. That was the...
I don't ever remember apprenticeships or, trades ever being spoken about. So I would suggest that. I mean, with AI and everything, I worry sick about my kids. Like, what on earth they're going to do when they're older?
Learn how to be an electrician.
I had this conversation the other day. We need, trades.
Be a sparky. Yeah. Because guess what? If the machines go down, everyone will get stuck. They'll need an electrician.
Exactly. Well,
and with the renters' rights bill, electricians.
Yeah. Well, my father-in-law's a plumber.
There you go.
He's never not busy.
Yeah, I was going to say, he'll never struggle to put food on the table.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the final one, which normally we don't let people do, but because of who you work with I'll give you this one.
Yeah.
If someone wants to support Suffolk Mind, can they only do it with money?
Can they?
Well, is it only money that they can help with?
No, not at all.
Give me 5 ways that people can help, either as a business or an individual. How can they help Suffolk Mind?
5 ways. So we have an initiative called Friends of Suffolk Mind. It's going through a rebrand at the moment. I hate that brand, Friends. I think it sounds woolly and it's classic tea and biscuits charity, isn't it? So we're rebranding that, and that is a cohort of thousands of people who support the charity in kind. So they don't financially contribute, but they can attend training sessions for free, which give them tools to help themselves and others, whether it's family or friends or colleagues. So that's equipping them with mental health tools. We've got millions of voluntary opportunities. So we run a lot of fundraising events throughout the year. And unfortunately, because there's no public money anymore, frankly, we're having to diversify our income more and more and more. So we've got fundraising events kind of coming out of our ears because we have to. And we've got 2.5 full-time fundraising team, which is tiny, actually. And we're always needing volunteers for those sorts of things, whether it's a cheer station at the half marathon, it might be. So we're doing
cheering you going faster than Craig.
I was getting to that. Yeah,
okay, yeah.
You got it. You saw where I was going.
We won't even see Henry.
Guess what? I was at that cheer station.
Yeah, I saw you. I saw you at the end.
Yeah, we were cheering you.
Oh man,
ahead of Henry down Worsted Road. Ahead of Craig on Worsted Road.
Yeah, you were in a good, because you were about a mile before the end.
Yeah.
So you must have been seeing some sorry states.
Well, we saw the sorry states, but we also saw the guy that was about a week ahead of everyone else.
A week.
Cooper.
Honestly, he could have gone round a second time.
Did you see the vest he was in?
I did see the Suffolk Mind vest he was in.
Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah, unbelievable guy.
Unreal.
Oh,
So he
wow.
ran.
And he did, and the thing was, it even looked like he'd cheated and only started a mile down the road,
Oh, that's mad.
and got his timings wrong, because it looked like he was just going out for a
Was he
jog.
just like a
Except
Sunday
he was
stroll?
like 3 times faster than everyone else, not breaking a sweat, not anything. And people who were going the other way to then have to do like 10 more miles to turn around to come back, or 5 miles, whatever, were looking all puffed out and what have you. He's there kind of going, oh yeah, I might have another couple of goes round.
I might run around
Honestly,
again.
unbelievable.
I mean, he's the epitome. I know we're going off topic a little bit, and this is public, so I'm not breaking any confidentiality. He had serious eating disorders when he was younger. He was anorexic, really struggled, battled with his mental health. He had a best friend take his own life.
Wow.
So he's been through them. He's a he's a young man. I think he's 24 now, and he decided last year. I mean, a lot of people know this. You might know it. He decided last year to run every single day, so 365 days, doing 12K every day for Suffolk Mind. That's 7 miles a day.
Wow.
Which is pretty. I mean, he's a running coach. He's obviously a great runner, but for any human body, that's pretty.
That's intense, isn't it?
That's pretty mad. And he chose 12 because, on average, 12 men take their own life in the UK a day.
Oh wow!
So it's very poignant for him. And I think in the end, he ran 360 because he did something to his back like in November. And I remember receiving his text and he was so apologetic. He was like, I'm so sorry. I was like, mate.
But I bet I mean, again, from the kind of guy he is, I bet he went, but I'll do like 24K for like 5 days to make up for it.
Well, I'm not being funny, but on so many days, he went over 12K.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what his annual mileage was that year, but like.
Probably more than my car. Probably was.
It could be. Yeah. I mean,
unbelievable.
Insane. And so that he now trains with a guy who lives in Fram, or just outside of Fram, who's probably going to be a better runner than him as well.
Okay.
And these two keep pushing each other on, and it's quite.
To steel sharpen steel as well. They'll get crazy quick for that.
Yeah, and they're friendly, competitive. Unlike me and Craig.
Not like Craig.
I'll say.
Well, I mean, the problem is
Craig
wasn't that competitive because he was about 10 minutes behind you, right?
10 miles.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he stubbed his toe again or dropped the weight on it or something.
Yeah. So, sorry, I went off topic there.
It's all right.
Where did we get to?
So people can volunteer.
Lots of volunteering opportunities.
There we go. Look, you've probably just summed it up nicely to say they can go and run a half marathon and put your vest on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, tons of opportunities for people to raise money for us.
And if they want to, is it a case of reaching you, or is it?
Yeah, more than happy to reach out to us. Any of our social media pages. We've got an events page on the website which lists all of the fundraising challenges. And we've got a guitar quest at the moment,
obviously,
where you learn.
Yeah, which you had no part in at all, right?
I genuinely didn't.
Did you not?
No. If you look at the 2 songs they picked, you will know why. So there's.
Oh, if it's Simon and Garfunkel or something, it's like, yeah, it definitely wasn't anything to do with you.
I think it's Country Road.
Okay, yeah, it's not you.
So
it's not you then.
I do like some country music.
I love
yeah, but it's
country
not
music.
because you need if they went, oh yeah, by the way, we're going to do like a
Hallowed be
Welcome
thy
to
name.
the Jungle and intro or something. You go, yeah, you could get more behind that than Country Road. Not
so it's
quite.
2 songs. I think it's Country Roads, and I think it's an Oasis song as well.
Oh, okay.
But
not too bad.
But the idea is,
but it's not rocker Iron Maiden type stuff.
No, it's not Decapitated, is it? Let's be honest. But the idea is to get people to learn that song over a number of weeks with tutorials online and stuff like that. And I think they do a great get together one Sunday. I think it's in March. I should know this. Sorry, fundraising team.
But it's on the website
at St. Peter's, and they all get up on stage and they play it together.
Amazing!
Like, what a cool kind of thing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So there's so many different things people can get involved in it, and it's not all athletic. It's not all physical. And I think there's a kind of perception that it is, but there's so many cool things. And charity's really competitive, right? Like you don't need to know that. I'm sure people knock on your door weekly for stuff, daily, weekly. And when you're income gen, you're always trying to reinvent the wheel a bit. You're trying to make things a bit unique, a bit interesting, and everyone's upping their game.
Yeah.
And also, all the causes are amazing, right? Who on earth do you pick?
Yeah.
How do you pick between mental health and a hospice or homelessness, or whatever it is? And there's so much to choose from. But because that public sector money's dried up, essentially, everyone is coming to private companies. They're trying to find those high net worth people that have those passions that are willing to kind of contribute. So fundraising, is such an essential part of any charity, but certainly ours, to cover off all of the different services we provide. And I couldn't even reel them off to you because there are too many. And I met someone recently who said, you don't talk about it enough. You don't talk enough about what Suffolk Mind does. And I'm guilty of that.
You guys do incredible stuff.
Oh, hang on. I have one final question as well.
Go on.
I know you're going to talk about this, but I couldn't help it. I had to interrupt because it's the one question that every single Suffolk person that knows Henry wants to know.
On in.
Nervous.
Do you believe you have the firmest handshake in Suffolk? Because everyone who knows you, they go, oh, he's the handshake one.
Oh, wow.
Do you know this, by the way?
Yeah, someone mentioned that to us
Luke
the other day.
Chambers always jokes about this.
Okay.
He always, every single time. But whenever anyone brings it up, I go extra hard. Next time, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to make a thing of this now.
Yeah.
I remember you mentioned
I'm going to get my hand crushed this
someone
time.
mentioned it to you, didn't they?
You've got a good one.
Yeah, but I always got told, like, growing up,
Because he'll match yours.
that you have to go along and go in with a firm handshake because A, it puts the quality of your character, and secondly, if you go in a wet fish handshake and someone's got a firm handshake, it will hurt a lot.
Their hand.
Yeah.
But
so always go in with a firm handshake.
I don't, because I'm a hugger, I don't really do the whole.
I don't, like, hand on heart, I don't do it to prove a point, but same as my dad. You know, it's kind of, it's looking people in the eyes when you speak to them. It's a character thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying a wet fish handshake tells you everything about a person.
But it tells a lot.
Yeah.
It's not everything, but it's a lot,
I think
right?
it
says a lot about
it's
you.
not the greatest entry point, is it? So I think, that's rapport straight away.
Yeah, but again, it's one of those things where you go, yeah, you'll get known for that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter because,
and clearly
you
have.
at the end of the day, you want to be memorable and everyone knows you as the handshake guy.
It's become a thing. Right?
Honestly, I swear I could say to people like, oh, do you know Henry? And they go, Henry from Suffolk Mind. No, the one with the handshake. Oh, yeah, I know Henry. That's it. Honestly, you can be the guy known as the guy with the handshake.
Why not? There's worse you can be remembered for.
Badge of honour.
Do you know what? On that note, that is a perfect roundup for me.
That is
Henry,
brilliant.
thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Much.
And yeah, no doubt we'll have you back.
Enjoyed it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Cheers, Henry. Thank you for listening to the Fun Side of Business podcasts, brought to you by NEIT for any of your IT requirements. Why not catch Nick and Jem on the Extra Slice, available to all our subscribers? Thanks for listening.